Pursuant to the bond matter, defendant was originally charged in Bamberg County for a criminal sexual conduct with in the first degree under warrant 2019 A05-101-00019. Mr. Bowen Turner was subsequently released out on bond, a PR bond, Your Honor, for $10,000, and a GPS monitor was attached due to the magistrate's order. Your Honor, that occurred January 29th of 2019. Your Honor.
January 29th?
Yes, sir. So this year, within the last 7 months. Your Honor, a motion was filed by the defense and was heard on April 22nd, 2019 to remove the GPS monitor off of Mr. Bowen Turner's leg. Your Honor, that motion was heard in front of the circuit court again on April 22nd. Circuit court decided to remove that monitor.
Now, who's that judge?
Your Honor, it was Judge Houston from Charleston.
Okay, Tommy Houston.
Yes, sir, Tommy Houston. Your Honor, he removed that GPS monitor. Your Honor, he signed an order stating such. Your Honor, shortly after that, on June 3rd of 2019, so 6 weeks later, another incident occurs, almost exactly like the first incident. Your Honor, we're dealing with young juveniles, they're kids. They're under 18.
The second incident, did it involve the same parties?
No, sir, it did not involve the same parties, but this is roughly the same group of people.
It's not this defendant, and it's not this victim.
It is this defendant.
It is this
Same
defendant.
defendant, second incident. Okay.
Different victim.
Right.
Your Honor, on June 3rd, deputies with the Orangeburg Sheriff's Office had made contact with the victim in reference to her advising she had been sexually assaulted. The victim stated the incident occurred while she was at a party off of Mises Highway within Orangeburg County at a pond house owned by a friend. The victim stated she was at the party with approximately 30 to 40 other guests, and around 2 a.m. on June 2nd, her friends left to go get something to eat. She had been in the bathroom, and when she exited, they were gone. Your Honor, she stated she stepped outside by herself to speak with one of the friends and on the phone to make arrangements for them to come pick her back up. During that phone conversation, Mr. Turner approached her. Your Honor, this is a house party, it's 2 a.m., and there's drinking involved. Mr. Turner is currently out on bond at this time for criminal sexual conduct in the first degree for a very similar incident, house party, drinking involved, late at night. During that phone conversation, Mr. Turner approached her and begged her to stay at the pond house. Victim stated she only knew Mr. Turner as a neighbor and nothing more. Once she was off the phone, victim stated that Mr. Turner grabbed her by the arm and pulled her towards the edge of the woods behind a pickup. He then forced her to the ground, and Your Honor, a sexual assault took place at that time. Victim was penetrated, vaginally penetrated. Your Honor, she did sustain some bruising to her back due to the force of this incident. Your Honor, I won't go into any details about the incident, but I will say that it was a sexual assault in which penetration did occur. Victim stated she was in a state of shock at that time, and after the assault, the victim went directly to the bathroom in the pond house. Upon trying to leave the bathroom, Mr. Turner was in the pond house, and Your Honor, I believe this is a pretty small building, small pond house. She saw him laying on the couch. Your Honor, his eyes were closed. She bolted for the door and ran into the woods to hide from Mr. Turner. Your Honor, once in the woods, she tried to call friends to come pick her up. She was able to reach a friend and was frantically trying to get help to leave the scene. Your Honor, that friend did come and pick her up, but not before Mr. Bowen Turner was out in the woods in the area with a friend looking for the victim, trying to call her name and trying to get her. Your Honor, this case is still under further investigation at this time. Your Honor, this case is very similar to the original incident which occurred in Bamberg County.
The magistrate did not set a bond in the second case, so it comes to you for consideration. What you've heard and what we'll tell you is this arises out of a party where there's underage drinking, underage sex, no adult supervision, or that we know of. There might have been one or two other people there that were over 21, but there were no parents there. There was no adult supervision. This is at a pond house, and the pond house, I think I might describe to you as more of an open shed. It's they call it a pond house, but it's really sort of an outdoor structure overlooking a pond. There is a bunkhouse that's several, maybe a football field away up the road, but it's on the same property. So there, the party aspect of it, and where the cars were all parked, was around the pond house. There were people that were staying in the bunkhouse, but again, all teenagers. So both the victim and the defendant, who are, I guess you'd say neighbors, they live on the same street or in the same neighborhood, at times have gone to the same school. They're both 16, so they know each other, but maybe not. I don't think anybody's alleging they were best buddies or anything, but they knew each other. And so there are 40 people at a party. There's some music sometimes there's not. There are people talking, there are people laughing. They're playing games. Quite frankly, they're playing drinking games where they, do the ball and it hits and they take a drink. So there's a lot of alcohol going on and a lot of youthful activity going on. And people are coming and going. But there were around 30 or 40 people there. So at some point in time, it's getting to be later. The people that were with the victim, her twin brother, who by all accounts is somebody she has a close relationship with, and her person she was riding with, said that they were going to go to Waffle House and get something to eat. Did she want to go? And the reports of the witnesses we've talked to said she turned to Mr. Turner and said, "Hey, you want to go to Waffle House with us?" To which he turned to his ride and said, "Do you want to go to Waffle House?" The guy who was riding with said, "I don't want to go to Waffle House." He says, "I don't want to go to Waffle House then." To which the victim says to her brother, "I don't want to go to Waffle House either. I'm going to stay with these guys and stay at the party." So she knowingly stays there talking to him. And by accounts that night, the people we've talked to, as people are mixing, and you know how parties go, various times when he would engage with other people, she would come over and be right there. Point is, she showed no fear of him, no reasons to stay away from him or anything else. So at some point in time, and Judge, I'm not up necessarily on the teenage language for it, but I'll give it language you probably understand. The two started making out. And so there were people nearby. And here's what the police report that we just got yesterday shows. That when this happened, when they went off sort of to the side, and they're engaged in kissing and touching and that kind of thing, she did not object. She did not resist. She did not scratch. She did not punch. She did not call out. When asked point blank, did she say no? She didn't. When asked point blank, did she say stop? She didn't. Judge, these are two 16-year-olds who were kind of off to the side. And when I say off to the side, they are about as far from that rail to you from other people. They're not way away. Could have called out, could have said stop, could have said no, could have said leave me alone, could have done a lot of things, but they were making out. Afterwards, what she said was, "I felt ashamed." The definition of ashamed is something that you regret because something that you internalize that you feel guilty about, not something that somebody did to you, so you don't like it. Well, guess what? You just had sex on the ground with a boy you don't really know, and you get up and you feel ashamed. You feel regret. That's not rape. And so these are the issues that are going to come out in this case, and that's what we suggest to you, and this kind of leads over to my other. This begs for both families. Both of these are children. All three of these are children. It needs to be handled in family court. It needs to be handled where both can get the appropriate counseling that might be needed, where if there's any rehabilitation that's needed, it can be handled there. But in the meantime, Your Honor, he's being housed at DJJ with a population that's waiting for trial. In other words, he's not in the regular DJJ population, he's in the population of just juveniles waiting for general sessions. There's no structure there, he's not a gang member, he's just not in the right environment there, and he's getting no benefit from it as far as education or anything else. Now,
How long has he been?
He's a rising senior, he's been there 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. He's a rising senior. His grades are such that he is scheduled to move forward and graduate on time. Obviously, because of this offense, he's not going to be able to go to the school he'd been at, but he has made arrangements. Parents have made arrangements. These are his parents right here. And family and supporters. His parents have made arrangements for him to continue his education so that he can graduate on time. He cannot do that in DJJ. DJJ, where they've got him housed now, just waiting for trial. Your Honor, as you well know from presiding over as many years of court as you have and being a prosecutor, so sometimes that takes 8, 9, 10, 12 months before the trial comes up. He does not need to be sitting there waiting on trial. He deserves a bond. Should he be on GPS monitoring where he was for the first, between, I guess, January and May?
Before it was removed by Judge Houston.
We don't object to that. We think that's appropriate. And that way there's some sense of everybody who needs to know where he is will know where he is. And the authorities, should they need to know where he is, can call the monitoring company and say, where is he? And at any point in time, his location will be there. And he has a job. He has the opportunity to go to school. We think if he's on GPS monitoring, that he's certainly not a flight risk. He's lived here his whole life. He sees the support he has from his family and community. He's got no prior record, as the solicitor points out.